Babes is the new movie by Pamela Adlon. This is the debut for Pamela Adlon. She has had such a career from the voice acting roles to better things. But more than this being a display of her talents, this is actually a bigger showcase for Ilana Glazer, who is our star of the movie and also a co-writer alongside Broad City writer Josh Rabinowitz. I'm going to get into everybody in this movie because there's a lot of great talent here, but Abby Jacobson, you are missed. And your presence on here, whether it would just be a cameo or small role, it would have been really great. But sometime in the future, they need to cross paths again. Like, it has to happen. This movie follows Iana's character, who is this 30-something New Yorker, and her best friend is played by Buteau. She's married and just had her second child. On the way back from the hospital, a meet-cute spawns between Ilana and this guy on the train. They form a connection, and after some time, she is pregnant. Unfortunately, the guy dies just days after their connection, and she is left with the dilemma of having to become a single mother, but with her best friend helping as much as she could. And I'm happy to say this is a heartwarming and pretty funny big screen R-rated comedy. And walking in, I almost entirely thought this was going to be some Judd Apatow or Kristen Wiig, Annie Manolo type of work. There's remnants of those filmmakers all throughout this project, but I will say this does cover some new ground. Pamela Adlon has had so much influence on TV that I think she is perfect to helm a big screen movie. I think the transition went pretty well. When Louis C.K. left the FX show Better Things that Pamela starred in, I was surprised at how singular the show became. I mean, it turned into a way more artistically driven affair. And I was hoping to see some of that influence take over on Babes, but really, I think this movie is set out to please a crowd. There's a lot of funny gags and crude humor here. A lot of it does feel like Bridesmaids or specifically Knocked Up. But Ilana on screen is this kind of talent where you often wonder, like, where has she been? She does comedy so natural. In fact, I think she is much funnier when she's not really trying to sell a joke. I found myself laughing more in the quieter moments opposed to the punchlines here. Buteau is also really good here. I think the chemistry between the two honestly was great. This movie does have the inevitable dramatic final 30% where things get serious, but even still, I don't think the steam completely ran out in terms of comedy. There were still jokes being told, and I found the conclusion between these two friends to be touching and relatable and very charming. I also want to shout out Hassam Minhaj as Michelle Buteau's husband in this movie. I've never really seen his work ever. I only know him from the Aziz Ansari joke. And I'm surprised to say he delivers all his lines super good. And with R-rated theatrical comedies being in the gutter as they are, leaves me with the question, is Babes the step forward that this specific genre needs? And after thinking about it, I gotta say, I think so. For one, I don't think Babes cost as much as a Judd Apatow movie would, with all the stars that he pumps in and the huge running times. The biggest offense with a comedy like this is if it felt too small screen. And while, as mentioned, Babes doesn't have any visual flair to it, it doesn't look small screen. It looks like it belongs in a movie theater. And does this appeal to past generations, present, potential future ones? Of course, time will tell, but after watching this movie, I and the rest of the audience seem to enjoy it quite a bit. I do miss rated R comedies in theaters. I know No Hard Feelings did pretty well, but this is the first comedian-driven one since Bros, which I know was pretty mixed upon audiences. I thought it was okay. This one I thought was better, and I hope it continues to pump out more work for all the talent involved in this movie. I would give Babes a 7.4. It is released by Neon and is now playing in select theaters. Thank you for watching.